Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Get This Soon. In this video, we are going to discuss process scheduler in operating system. This is the 11th video in the series of operating system. So if you haven't watched my previous videos yet, then make sure you watch them. So in this video, we are going to discuss about process scheduler. So you need to have basic understanding of process. In case you don't have the basic understanding, make sure you watch OS 6, OS 7, OS 8 videos of this playlist. Now let's get started with today's topic. What is process scheduler? Just giving you a glance, a program is a set of instructions to perform a task. The execution of program is known as process. The management of the execution of process is known as process scheduler. Here, process scheduler is a very important component of operating system that manages the execution of process. So there might be multiple processes running at the same time. So there might be switching of the process. So all this management, which process to go first, which process to go next, all this management is done by operating system. So it's very important in a computer to schedule, manage, and look after the process. So this concept is known as process scheduler. Its primary purpose is to allocate system resources and determine the order in which processes are executed. During the execution of the program, the process might need to access some of the hardware resources or any input or output, or there might be a multiple process ready and we don't know in which order which process to go and get executed. So all these things is managed by operating system. So the process scheduler ensures efficient and fair utilization of CPU and other resources. Now, in simple terms, a process scheduler is like the traffic police of a computer system. The main job is to manage and control the flow of different tasks. Here, the traffic police officer controls the flow of different vehicles on the road. Similarly, here, imagine the cars and the vehicles as processors on the road, and the process scheduler is the traffic police officer which directs the vehicles, and the process which are the vehicles get to use the road at any given time. So I hope you understood this concept and example. If you have any doubts, make sure to comment below. Moving ahead, we have three types of process scheduler: long term scheduling, which is also known as job scheduling; medium term scheduling; short term scheduling, also known as CPU scheduling. Now let's look into these three types. But before getting started with these three, I want to tell you about the life cycle of process. First diagram here you might have already watched in my previous videos. These are the 5 stages in which the process slips. It starts from the start and then it goes to ready, running, sometimes wait, and finally it goes to exit. Now I'm going to change the diagram a bit so that you would understand. Here in the above diagram you can see start. Start is a place where the process will be waiting in the secondary memory until it is get called by the operating system to move to the main memory and the ready place, right? So I'm going to name it job pool. Okay. In the second stage, that is ready stage, there might be so many processors ready to get executed. All these processors are stored in a queue called ready queue. Then the running and execution takes place at the CPU. So there is CPU. And now in case during execution if the operating system blocks the process or it needs any input or output, or for some reason if it comes to block, it will be present in the input output waiting queue. So there are 4 places, that is job pool, where it will be in the secondary memory, it will be waiting to get called from the ready queue, from the main memory. And when it comes to the ready queue, a lot of processes are waiting there, waiting to get executed. Next we have CPU, where the process goes through this execution process. In case if the process is blocked or wait, it will go into the waiting queue. Now moving ahead, now you might have understood the stages where the process will wait or process will stay. Now let's look at these three scheduling. Getting started with the first one, that is long-term scheduling. Long-term scheduling involves selecting process from the job pool and loading them into the ready queue from secondary memory to the main memory. So this determines which process should be admitted to the system for execution. This is coming from the job pool to ready queue, right? So this is known as job scheduling. Also, in case you're not understanding what are the stages and everything, I really highly recommend you to watch my previous videos on process lifecycle. Moving ahead, we have medium term scheduling. Medium term scheduling is not present in most of the operating system, but in some cases it involves swapping the process in and out of the main memory and the secondary storage to manage the overall system load. So we do know that there is a place called waiting queue, right? So the process is moved out of the main memory and sent to secondary memory. Here you can see it will go to the waiting queue, and again when it gets a call from the operating system, it will again come to the ready queue, and the process continues. Going ahead, we have short-term scheduling, also known as CPU scheduling. This is the most common type of process scheduling. It selects a process from the ready queue and then allocates the CPU to that process. The short-term scheduling is concerned with making the most efficient use of CPU to ensure the processes are executed in a timely manner. So from job pool to ready queue, it is known as long-term scheduling. From ready queue to CPU is known as short-term scheduling. Only sometimes, not every time, sometimes rarely, we have medium-term scheduling where the process is moved from main memory and it goes to secondary memory, and again it will come back to main memory when it is required. So these are the three scheduling. I hope you understood the three different types of scheduling. Now let's deeply understand these three scheduling by looking at their differences. So we have long-term scheduling, medium-term scheduling, and short-term scheduling. First, let's understand the purpose. The purpose of the long-term scheduler is to determine which process are admitted into the system. So it basically select from the available systems and send to the main memory. The purpose of medium-term scheduler is to manage the swapping of process between memory and secondary storage, ensuring efficient use of available memory. So swapping the process in and out, which means from main memory to secondary memory in case there is problem with memory. Okay, we'll come to the short-term scheduler. The purpose of short-term scheduler allocates CPU to process for execution. Moving ahead, let's talk about frequency. In long-term scheduler, it operates infrequently, typically only when process submitted or completes execution. Medium-term scheduler is more than long-term scheduler but less than short-term scheduler. It typically on a time scale of milliseconds or seconds. Speaking of short-term scheduler, it operates very frequently, potentially multiple times per second, ensuring efficient CPU utilization. Moving ahead, we have type of scheduler. The long-term scheduler is known as job scheduler as it will come from the job pool and it will go to the ready pool. Now the medium-term scheduler is kind of a swapping scheduler from main memory to the secondary memory and vice versa. The short-term scheduler is known as CPU scheduler where the process will get a chance to execute using the CPU resources. Moving ahead, now, the main concern is nothing but focus. The long-term scheduler focuses on the maintenance of degree of multi-programming, which means it balances resource utilization with throughput. Now, the medium-time scheduler focuses on the balanced ready queue size, preventing memory overload and ensuring effective process execution. So, system load, ready queue size, and also sometimes memory. All these things are focused by medium-term scheduler. Speaking of short-term scheduler, it focuses on maximizing CPU utilization, ensuring fair access to the CPU for all processes. Moving ahead, we have speed. The long-term scheduler is less than short-term scheduler. Medium-term scheduler is fastest among the other two schedulers, long-term and short-term. And the least speed is long-term scheduler. It is less than short-term scheduler. In between long-term and medium-term, we have short-term scheduler. So I hope you understood the differences. I hope you understood the three types. I also hope you understood what is process scheduler. In case you have any doubts, feel free to comment below. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Make sure you like this video, share this video, and subscribe to our channel. Get this soon. Bye bye.